Alright, you have Lucas and Gabby for Biology 2, and this is our cat dissection, and we're going to show you the digestive organs of our cat.
Thanks, Gabby. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're first going to start with the liver. Okay, the liver is made up of different lobes. This lobe right here is the left lateral lobe. Right next to it is the left medial lobe. This lobe is the quadrate lobe. Right here we have the right medial lobe. And underneath the right medial lobe, we have two smaller lobes. These are the right lateral lobes, but they're divided into two different parts. This one right here is the right lateral anterior lobe, and we have the right lateral posterior lobe right here. And one more lobe is this little guy right here. He is the caudate lobe. And in between the lobes of the liver, we have the gallbladder, and we also have the spleen, which is right here, this part. And then underneath the stomach, we have the pancreas. Speaking of the stomach, let's move on into it. First, we have the curvatures of the stomach, which is the greater curvature, which is right here on the outside. And then the inside curvature is the lesser curvature. Inside the stomach, the very first part, we have the lower esophageal sphincter. This sphincter gets its name because it is the very last part of the esophagus, and the esophagus enters its contents through the sphincter and into the first part of the stomach, the utmost region, which is the cardiac region. Right next to the region to the left, we have the fundus. Most of the stomach, basically the middle, is the body of the stomach. And then the bottommost region is the pylorus. And then we have another sphincter which enters into the small intestine, which is the pyloric sphincter. And the pyloric sphincter enters into the, into the duodenum, which is basically the top of the small intestine. The middle part is the jejunum. And then the lowermost part, or the part that enters into the large intestine, is the ileum. And now onto the large intestine, which is right here. The first part of the large intestine is the cecum. The cecum is the part where the large intestine and the small intestine meet. And then we have the next parts, which are known as the colon. The first part is the ascending colon. It gets its name because it goes up. We have the transverse colon right across here. It gets its name because it goes across. Do not mind the bell. And then we have the descending colon. It gets its name because it goes down into the sigmoid part of the colon. The sigmoid colon gets its name because it's shaped like an S, and then the sigmoid colon turns into the rectum. The next part we have are the kidneys. First, we have the blood vessels of the kidneys, which are the renal vein, which is right here. And then right next to it, under a little bit of fat, I'll make it clear, is the renal artery, which is right here under a little bit of fat. And then inside the kidneys, we have the renal cortex, which is the lighter outermost part of the kidney. And then we have the renal medulla, which is the darker inner center part of the kidney. Unfortunately, we do not have any ureters because they were accidentally cut off. However, if we did have them, they would be white thin tubes that would be attached to the bottom of the kidney, and they would go into the urinary bladder. Okay, next we have some of our male reproductive system. Unfortunately, we do not have most of it. We do not have the glands, penis, the testes, or the epididymis because they were all cut off because this cat was neutered. However, we do have the vas ductus, or in cats, it's known as the ductus deferens. And that is everything. Thank you very much.